There's a guy who trains 20 minutes twice per week, and he looks better than the guy grinding for 2 hours, 6 days a week. This isn't about work ethic or dedication. It's about understanding how muscle actually grows. Because muscle growth doesn't happen in the gym, it happens during recovery. And most men over 40 are training in a way that maximizes damage while minimizing the time needed to actually adapt and grow stronger. Today I'll explain what the research shows about training volume versus training intensity, why recovery becomes the limiting factor after 40, and how to optimize both. Here's what most men don't realize about training after 40. Your body needs significantly more time to recover from intense training than it did when you were younger. Research shows that muscle protein synthesis rates and satellite cell activity decline with age. The cellular machinery responsible for repairing and building muscle tissue becomes less efficient. After 40, full recovery from high-intensity resistance training may take 72 to 96 hours, not the 24 to 48 hours typical of younger trainees. When you train 5 to 6 days a week with high volume, you're creating new damage before the previous session's damage has been fully repaired. This puts your body in a chronic state of incomplete recovery. Cortisol remains elevated, inflammation stays systemic. You're essentially in survival mode rather than growth mode. Now, this doesn't mean high-volume training can't work. For some people with excellent recovery practices, and perhaps younger biology, it does. But for many people over 40, particularly those with demanding careers and limited sleep, high-volume training can create more breakdown than their recovery capacity can handle. You see the dedicated guys grinding through 2-hour sessions and assume that that's what's required. More sets, more exercises, more time under tension. You push through exhaustion because the fitness culture reinforces the idea of no pain, no gain, and that feeling destroyed means your workout was effective. But when you're chronically fatigued, perpetually sore, and seeing strength plateau or decline despite consistent effort, you're likely exceeding your recovery capacity. Your body can't keep up with the demands. You're accumulating damage faster than you can repair it. The reason the guy training 20 minutes twice per week may actually be getting stronger is because his training stimulus matches his recovery capacity. He's not working less hard. He's working within his biological limits. Here's what the research shows about muscle growth. The primary driver is mechanical tension, how much force your muscles have to produce and for how long. Traditional thinking assumes you need high volume, lots of sets, lots of reps to accumulate enough total tension to trigger growth. And there's truth to that with conventional training methods, but there's a crucial qualifier. The quality of that tension matters enormously. Free weights and other gravity-based tools provide uneven resistance throughout a movement. At some points, you're maximally loaded, and at other points, you're kind of coasting. A 50-pound dumbbell is 50 pounds whether you're at your strongest angle or your weakest angle. You're never optimally loaded throughout your entire range of motion. And this is part of why high volume may be necessary with traditional training. The quality of the mechanical tension is so inconsistent that you need more total sets to get the job done. Responsive resistance technology changes this equation. Instead of fixed and unchanging resistance, it uses motorized resistance that adjusts to your exact force output in real time. When you're at your strongest, the resistance increases. When you hit a weaker point, it adjusts to keep you maximally loaded without overstressing your joints. Every portion of every rep involves maximum mechanical tension, no coasting, and no wasted effort. Western Colorado University compared this technology to traditional resistance training, and over the 12-week study, the responsive resistance group saw strength gains in the 1-rep max test and the 5-rep max test that roughly doubled the strength gains seen in the weightlifting group. And that was in just 6 hours of training over the 12 weeks, compared to 21 hours in the weightlifting group. One study doesn't definitively prove superiority across all populations and contexts. We'll need some more research with varied protocols and longer time frames, but the biomechanics suggest a logical explanation. If you eliminate the inefficient portions of each rep through responsive resistance, you should be able to accumulate the same or greater mechanical tension stimulus in less total time. You're not training less hard. In fact, the moment-by-moment force matching, you're training more efficiently. That's what you're doing. The 20 minutes feels intensely challenging because every second is maximally productive, but then you're done. And crucially, you give your body the 72 to 96 hours it needs to actually adapt. When you align your training stimulus with your recovery capacity, the results can be different than what high-volume training produces. Not necessarily better for everyone, but potentially better for men over 40 with limited recovery resources. You're training with maximum intensity for 20 minutes. Then you're recovering for 3 to 4 days while muscle protein synthesis does its work. Sleep becomes the priority it should be. 7 to 8 hours where your body releases growth hormone and rebuilds tissue. You're not chronically fatigued. You don't fall asleep on the couch at 8 p.m. Your kids ask you to play and you have energy to say yes. Here's what this looks like practically. You walk into the studio. The environment is focused, not crowded. You perform movements on equipment that provides computer-controlled responsive resistance throughout your entire range of motion. The system tracks your force output in real time. You push or pull maximally, and the resistance matches your capability at every moment. Because the resistance is continuous and computer-controlled, you can safely create maximum mechanical tension without the risks associated with free weights under heavy load. Sessions are 20 minutes, 2 to 3 times per week. That frequency provides the recovery window your body needs, particularly after 40, when tissue repair takes longer. You walk out having sent a powerful growth signal to your body. Then you actually give your body the time to respond to that signal. You sleep, you eat adequate protein, your body super compensates, rebuilding slightly stronger than before. You train again when you're fully recovered, ready to push harder and see progressive strength gain. Your wife notices you have energy again. You're sharp at work, focused in meetings. You have bandwidth left at the end of the day to actually enjoy your life instead of being chronically depleted. The traditional gym culture treats exhaustion as a badge of honor, but exhaustion isn't the same as effective training. You're not being lazy, you're being smart about matching training stimulus to recovery capacity. For many men over 40, that may be the difference between continuous progress and chronic stagnation. Most men assume building muscle requires hours in the gym, 6 days a week, but what the research suggests is that the intensity of the stimulus matters more than the volume of the stimulus, particularly when recovery capacity is limited. Maximum mechanical tension triggers adaptation. Then, adequate recovery allows your body to actually respond. This is one approach men over 40 are using to build strength efficiently without living in the gym. If you're curious whether this method might work for your goals and constraints, book a complimentary session and experience it yourself. The training feels different than traditional high-volume work, but the recovery optimization may be what your biology needs. I'll see you there.